I'm going to tell you a story, but the first thing you have to understand is, time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. And we are here at the top of the winds with the way of the quartz and the A's of the in. And starting with the Radatero, you have the page of swords that you know. And with the page we move to the knight, for pages are squires, and that is alright. And then we move to the queen, and then from queen we move to your swords. They then. And that be the top, and that be the way of the rider tarot. Rider weight be the say. And then if we be by inversion tarot way, we have the page, horseman, again queen, and king, as we are so often known by ways of songs of old sing, and as by the way of the Greek tarot say. Again the page begins as the way, with the knight then be next, and then there be queens, and there be killer queens, gunfights and turpentine, dynamite with a laser beam, and then there be the king of swords, Zeus to heresy, and that be the way, not a heresy, and then we be the way of the Thoth Crowley tarot. This one's interesting. Starts with princess. Princess takes the place of page. We have knight in the same okay. We have prince instead of queen, and queen does reign instead of king. And that's the Crowley tarot in terms of the royalty. And I'll do a couple bit of introduction to this. A couple things for vocabularies. So, as I'm doing this all as one, as opposed to four separate, we'll do it a little bit jumble wumble, stumble wumble. So, with the page, open, un misati, ka, and close, pidanam karoti. That is the way of the pages say to open the close of the say. And then, also, sarva. Sarva means every. Sarva is a great word. So, to anchor, you have an agalana, or an anchor, and an agalana sana, or a place where the anchor goes. And to have it placed in there, you can have it settle to have your anchor agalana, orasyati, agalana sana, or settle the anchor there. Settle the anchor in the anchoring place. So, that is the way to anchor by the page, and having an anchor and an anchoring spot. And then we move on whoop, to the knight. And that will include to balance, or barti. Whoop, 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 barti. And with that comes also davate, cleanse, ka, and marsti, purify. Because when you open and close, sometimes you have to go to do a good cleaning in. Wind is very good for cleaning, by the way, I'm just saying. And with that, with davate, cleanse, kamarsti, and purify, and balance of barti, you can also have zaitidika, or containing 101. That's actually really cool, just so you know. Just so you know. And then we move on to the queen with the invisible Beati, ka, and be recorded. Smariati. So, behind me is Beati and up here is Mariati. And that's really easy to remember, you see. And then we have Zata, for 100. And if I have it conveniently located to correct towards the center, you have nirdosi, karote, for correcting or removing a default or a defect or a problem thereof. So if you're off center kilter, you can recenter thereof. Whoa! And then we have next, wow, the king to direct by Neretezate. And since you have Pratizata, which is from the queen, is percentage, you can have Zata for 100. So we can be at Zata Pratizata of the ones, and they the ones, oh, not the ones yet, but all the swords of the Ariset. And that would also be after I gave you this. Now, there is Yogti question, because you shouldn't just assume that I'm. First of all, you shouldn't just assume that I'm right. I don't assume I'm right. I assume that I can be right and that I can be wrong. Those are both assumptions that are actually ones you should make. There's this thing in symbolic logic. Like, if you're going to have assumptions, sometimes you need to, just in order to, like, understand what you're dealing with. But here's the thing about symbolic logic. It basically takes a series of sentences and then lets you distill them down to a single symbol and then basically operate it on it like it's math. I'm not joking. But the thing is, like math, it has rules you have to follow, and if you don't follow the rules, you won't get the right answer. Like discharging your assumptions. There's this old saying that, the mother of all screw-ups is assumptions. Well, that is partially correct. It really is. But the thing is, sometimes we need to make assumptions. Because if we don't, information that we know is true, we're going to constantly question. Sometimes it's important to know when to yugte, when to question, and when to not. But with yugte comes ka vigte, or judge. So, like, once you ask a question, then you have to determine whether or not you believe the answer, or whether or not the answer you come to is correct, or if you're just going to hold out for further judgment. Also an option. And yeah, that's the general gist of the page through the King of the Swords of the Way. And I'm going to touch on this, I think, a little bit more when I talk about fire and wands. But there's a core concept I've noticed in spiritualism, specifically pertaining to true love, involving twin stars, twin flames, and karmic ties. And generally, as near as I can tell, what that's basically is about people who, for a variety of reasons, you can call it magical, you can call it just like, you can call it fate. I prefer actually just to think of it as karma, based on the lives they've led and the lives that they would choose to leave. Basically, would be your ideal partners. And it's like you can choose to be like, oh, the gods made this person for me. Well, they kind of made themselves to be who they are, and that person is in fact perfect for you. And in some cases, that would be like, there are lots of people who are varying degrees of perfect, and that sounds like a strange and perhaps stupid thing to say, but whatever, I'm saying it. And yeah. And near as I can tell, twin flames are about love. Pretty much makes sense. Twin stars are also about love, and I think I'm a little bit more fuzzy on the distinction between twin stars and twin flames. Not gonna lie, but it has to do with I think twin stars have a lot more to do with past life karmic ties, and twin flames are just like whenever they're there, like whatever life you're in, they're like soul deep. They will love you. It's just how it is. Now I could be wrong. Again, I can be wrong all day, but wow, cool. I think I'm done with this one. So for now, America, when I'm singing to you, being a Zakuna in the way they yell. Zakuna sing guitar and I'll sing to be. Oh, have fun in the ways of the weave. Akash you make the rap to the sauce swap now. Rest easy in the Hamya and Yamasadana, in the ways of Nathers of the place between. The glamours with your other and safely swap, not safely dream, everybody.